Hey there drivers, how's it going? Welcome to the Road Pro channel. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to deal with some really common problems if you have a diesel bunk heater. Now they come in a couple of different brands. Particular one that's in this truck's an S-bar heater. It works great. God, it can make enough heat to drive you out of this truck if it's like 20 degrees out. But they do have some issues. Hey guys, real quick before we get into this. This fix is usually for if you're up in your little display screen, you're getting an error code of 52. Okay, that's a very important number because that just means playing them out, but sensors are reporting fine. So remember that number, it's going to be 52. Now on the display screen, it can change a little bit. It's funky how it does it. It might say 52 and a bunch of zeros. It might say 52, 52 and some zeros. It might say 0, 52 and a bunch of zeros. But as long as you're seeing the error code 52 in some form, this repair will probably get you back up and running on. Because what you have in these trucks is literally a mini furnace. Yeah, you heard that right. Underneath your bunk is a little teeny box that has a fire in it. Okay, it's not electric, it literally burns diesel fuel. That's a little teeny fuel line, usually comes out of your passenger tank, will go up onto the bunk. Yeah, that feeds these heaters. They're freaking awesome. The size of a shoebox, they can make enough heat to drive you out of any truck. God, I've been up in North Dakota when it's been like 13 degrees out, and I've been in a freaking t-shirt and my underwear in the sleeper. So they work great, but like anything that's mechanical, they do need to be maintained. And there's a lot of stuff you can do yourself as a driver. If you follow along this channel, I can actually show you a bunch of stuff. That's kind of part of my goal here. To save yourself a bunch of time, a bunch of headaches, and a bunch of money if you're running your own truck. In this case, I'm in a company truck, so I'm not going to worry about it too much, but it's on the weekend. I could call our breakdown guys, but they're going to have to route me to probably a Peterbilt to try to get it fixed. And that's going to mess up my 34 that I'm doing right now. And it's the weekend, so I'm not going to be able to get into one, which is fine, because they would put me in a hotel room. Then I got to deal with Uber, and I got to pack clothes, I got to go to the hotel, I got to check in, I got to stay in the hotel, I got to get out of the hotel, get back to the truck, Uber back to the truck, get reimbursed for Uber on the next paycheck, and it's just a freaking mess. I'd rather just stay in my truck. But very common issue with these heaters is very easy to fix. So easy, in fact, we can do it with a paper clip. Let me show you how. Okay, first thing you got to do is you got to actually get to where the heater's at, and the heater is usually underneath your bunk. So you got to clear out everything, because I usually keep a lot of stuff. I keep mouthwash stuff tucked in there. There's a little, I'm in a 579 Peterbilt, by the way. There's a little cubby back here. I usually keep a bunch of stuff in. But yeah, we got to open that up. And do that, just reach under your bunk. There'll be a latch. Open her up. Ugh. Come down here. Turn my headlamp on. I can see what I'm doing. This is underneath your bunk. Now on this side, this is actually your AC for your bunk. So you don't got to worry about that. What you can look at is over here, because wherever your heat comes out. In my case, this port, the heater's behind it. Come back here, and this is our diesel heater. Now the first thing you want to check, if you got one that won't turn on, and let me back up a little bit. If it'll turn on, it'll blow cold air for a few minutes and then cut out. That's the problem we're talking about. If it doesn't come on at all, you got an electrical issue. It's probably blown fuse. But anyways, if it does come on and blow, it's more than likely this issue. Let me show you how to do it. So first thing you can do is open up your bunk, climb in here, look at the heater. You got this little metal brace in here that keeps this area separate because this literally has fire in it, and it is a fire danger. I mean, you don't want to have this buried under a bunch of plastic bags and shit. They're very, very safe. They're very self-contained, but accidents do happen, so you don't want to be an idiot. First thing you want to do is make sure there's nothing jammed in here, because it does have a bunch of sensors in it. If airflow is restricted, it will not fire. It'll try, then shut off, try, then shut off. So you want to make sure this thing can breathe, so make sure there's nothing in this box, nothing blocking it. The air intake is on this back little cover guy here. So this actually comes off. I can show you. Just unscrews. Well, it kind of unscrews. It's like a pill bottle tap. See? Just got a grate. So you'll make sure this grate is free of debris. There's nothing in it. Again, you'll make sure there's nothing in this, and you'll make sure there's airflow over the top of this, because this level right here is the bottom of your bunk. So my arm is basically the bunk, so you gotta get that big gap still. Because this draws air for combustion and to blow heat from underneath your bunk, all through this. You'll make sure this is wide open. And in my case, I got this grate up here. This lets air back into here to circulate through it. So make sure that's open. There's a little hole over here. Because the fan is right here sucking into it, this kind of needs to be open to make sure it still draws air properly. It's not a super big deal, but I mean, that can help if you're having issues. But anyways, to open this thing up as far as we're going, you're gonna take our little cap guy off this end, which if you look, see it's got these little cutouts. It's got one there, another one on the other side. There's a tab, if I can zoom in. Oh, is this gonna focus? There's a tab right here. So all you gotta do is you rotate this so that lines up with the tab, and it should pop on. It'll be like that. You turn it and you pull on it, you feel that tab line up, it comes right off. Okay, next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna take this cover, you're gonna pull that way and up at the same time, slightly. Sometimes it helps get your finger on it. Come on. There we go. So you're gonna lift up in here and pull backward. You're gonna be careful because you got the little plastic lip you gotta pull out. That's what you're doing. You're gonna open that up, set that off the side. And this is your basic diesel heater. This is your fan motor. This is a fan. This is the actual burn chamber. Now, second thing you want to do is you want to make sure this fan is free. It can spin freely, make sure there's nothing jammed in it. This one's got a little bit of dust, but not enough to really cause an issue. It would be nice if we could clean that out with a vacuum. I don't have a small enough one to get in there. But where we're going is this little black tab right here. Let me zoom you guys in. This guy right here is our next problem. This is actually the igniter. It's nothing more than just a glow plug, same as you'd have in any diesel engine. All it does is stick a little probe in there. It glows red hot. This sprays fuel in it. It burns inside the chamber, warms the chamber up, blows air through it. You got your hot air. What you want to take and do is get this little rubber boot. You want to take and wiggle this, and you need to pull it up and kind of backward, but be careful of these wires. They're little and they break easy. It just pops in. You see, you get a little pop ring there. Slide that back and wiggle it. Don't fight it, don't force it, just wiggle it backward. Just like that. Now this actually lets you look inside the airflow section of it, okay? There's not fire directly in this. This plug screws into the burn chamber, which is up in here. I can't really zoom you guys in enough, but oh yeah. Right off the tip of my finger, see kind of that black crowd at the base of that nut? That's an indicator we're on the right track with what we're doing. Because this is a glow plug that screws a little tube that lets it poke into the burn chamber. Now ideally, and if I was an owner-operator, I'd have one of these. I'm a mechanic, we're starting our own shops, I'm gonna buy one anyways. There'll actually be a link down in the description to this tool on Amazon. It's a glow plug, a diesel heater glow plug removal tool. It's a really long fancy way of saying it's basically a long socket with a cutout in it for the wires. So even without that tool though, we can still try to fix this. It's just harder, because what we're gonna take and do is in the sides of the little housing that glow plug screws into, there's little teeny air holes, okay, that let air flow down around the plug to aid in combustion. If those holes get restricted or plugged up, it doesn't get the right air to fuel mix and it won't burn. And if it doesn't ignite, it doesn't heat up the sensor, doesn't tell there's fire in it, so it shuts off, so it doesn't pull a bunch of fuel underneath your bunk, which gives us the flame out error code, or if you check it with a deeper sensor, it'll tell you something about the sensor doesn't detect fire because there's no fire. We need to make fire to make sensor warm to make heat will run. So anyways, we gotta make a little tool real quick. Let me show you how to do that. Okay, my tripod is currently broke. It's over here, get some glue on it drying. I gotta get a second one too, so I gotta back up. This is gonna be really hard to film and do at the same time. I'll do my best I can for you guys. But anyways, you really only need a paper clip, but it's impossible to buy a paper clip. So I had to buy a whole freaking box because I didn't have any. Usually it picks them up from paperwork. I usually got 2 or 3, but I couldn't find any, and this was cheap, it's a couple bucks. So doesn't really matter what size, because the holes, I think it's like a 1/16 of an inch, thereabouts, but you need a paper clip, and you need a pair of pliers. And you can use Leatherman. Leatherman work fine. Needle nose pliers work fine. You just need something to be able to bend it with. Let's see if I can do this. Oh yeah, this is a fun view. Okay, we take a paper clip. We're gonna straighten it out. Okay. Now you want to leave a little hooky bit on it, so you got something to kind of clock it with. Because if it's round, it becomes very, very, very difficult to hold it steady. If you got something to hang on to, it's a little better. So we're gonna straighten it out. And for the sake of being fancy, we're gonna make it good and straight. Okay. So I got a paper clip. That'll focus. There we go. Get a hook on one end and just a straight piece of wire. We're going to take a straight piece of wire, and it doesn't really matter which direction you go. I'm going to go flat to our little clip guy. So this is flat. We're going to come up the wire and then bend towards me. You're just going to take, focus, camera work. There we go. Just going to take the very end of this. We're we're going to bend a little 90-degree hook. Just like that. That's all you need. It's not very big. You want it about 1/8 of an inch long. You don't want it too big or too long because you won't be able to get it down inside of there. You don't want it too short because you won't be able to reach in there enough to clean it out. But yeah, that should do the trick. Okay, now let's go back under our bunk. Okay, now we're gonna take a little picky guy. We'll go down beside the glow plug. You're gonna have to kind of do this by feel. Down the side of it, you'll eventually feel it pop into a little teeny air hole. Oop. Very difficult to do this and film at the same time. Oh, right there. Just popped in. It's down the base of the plug. Now what we're gonna take and do is just wiggle our pick around. Wiggle it, turn it. What you're trying to take and do is you're trying to knock the carbon buildup out of that little hole. Make sure it can breathe. A couple different times, poke it in, pull it out, do what you can. And you're not really going to feel anything. Like I said, it's a little teeny freaking hole. But we're just going to do what we can to get that sucker cleaned out. Okay, now we're going to take a look at the end of our pick, see if we see anything. Come on, camera, focus. Camera's not as good as my eyeballs. Well, it's a little black. Alright. Next thing we need to do, slide a little plug back in. This can be a little bit tricky to get. You gotta push the front in and then persuade the back of it to get back in the hole. Just keep wiggling it and poking at it. Now it is easier if you got a little pick or something. You can get in here and just push that back in. You can get it by hand, but a pick makes it a whole lot easier. And there we go. Make sure that's down flush because this has to seal against this body. Now what we take and do is take this cover, make sure the lip goes back under in here, push it forward and down. Take a little cover, make sure that notch is at the top. That goes back on the end. And make sure you turn it, latch it on. Okay guys, I gotta jump in here real quick too. I'm gonna show you in this next video clip how to reset the control unit for the bunk heater. Now, it's very important you realize this video is for fixing an error code of 52, like we mentioned at the start of it. The reset footage I have is for a different problem. So on the display screen, you're going to see it showing 57 or 0057. That one's actually for a flame sensor. It's actually bad. But the reset procedure is the same. Just keep that back in mind. Okay, she did not initially start, so sometimes you may have to clear the codes on this before it will. So all you need to do is take your same paper clip, bend the end straight. On the right-hand side, see a little teeny tiny hole? You take that, poke it in the hole. You'll feel a little button click. The screen's gonna go blank, and when it comes back, you gotta push and hold the blue button. Lights will flash. Hold it until you see it come up with maintenance mode, okay? Click the red arrow forward. You wanna perform a memory test, just click the red arrow again. Is memory test okay? That's good. So the electronic side of the system's working. Oh, can you see it? There we go. Diagnose now. Push yes. Red arrow. Reading codes. We got our same 57, no fault, no actual fault. That's not what it said a second ago. It said flame out. But anyways, we're gonna go forward with that. It's gonna come up, say erase codes. Red arrow. Yes. Resetting ECU. Reset, check again. Yes. Reading codes. No fault codes. All zeros is what we want. Okay, we'll go forward. Okay, hit the power button. Now you go yes. Resetting ACU. Check again. Blue button. No. Clear runtime. No. Current settings, which you can change how long it'll run before it times out. I got it at 18 hours right now, but change settings. No. Ready. Okay. Now we're going to press power until it says enabled. Again, turn the heat all the way up. Oh yeah, we got heat now. Plenty of heat. Okay, boys and girls, I did mention this before, I probably should have. when you after you reset your codes and you first turn the heater on, it's gonna cycle on and off a couple times with no heat. It's gonna come on, it's gonna blow a bunch of cold air, it's gonna shut off. Now you don't jump to conclusions thinking that the repair hasn't worked and that it's still broken. It's doing this intentionally. What it's doing is it doesn't know what happened before, so it's gonna run just the blower, blow a bunch of air through the burn chamber in case there's fuel pulled in there, okay? Because it doesn't want to have an issue from before. There'd be a bunch of fuel set in the burn chamber, and just kick the fire on because, it might potentially explode. It wouldn't actually explode, it'd just be like a big boom, and damage the heater. So it just runs a bunch of cold air, blows air through it to evaporate into that fuel, blow it out the exhaust system. Then it's going to shut off, it's going to come back on, then it's going to try to actually light. It might do that 1 or 2 times. In this case, my particular one did it 2 times. On the second or third try, it's going to try to light. You might hear a very faint roaring sound. That's the burner actually coming on. But yeah. Now we got it fixed, we got plenty of heat, so our butt's gonna be warm. So hope you like this video. Like I said before, down in the comments, I think I can pin the first comment. I'm so little getting the hang of that, but there'll be a link to Amazon to get the actual tool to take out the glow plug. Because if you're an owner operator, really it makes sense to change that out, because it's like 20 bucks. It's not even, I don't even think it's 20 bucks. I think it's like $17, $18 for the actual glow plug. Change that out. There's a little teeny screen sits underneath of it too. You want to change that out yearly, okay? Do a little bit of maintenance on this stuff and it'll be run just fine for you. But yeah, it's a whole lot easier to clean that hole out, because when you get the glow plug out, you can actually see the hole from the inside. You can clean it out really, really good. Again, there's some parts cleaner and some swabs and stuff, get it all good and clean. Change out the glow plug, and I'm sure run just fine. A lot of guys complain about these diesel heaters. They said they don't like them, they say they break too easy. It's because they don't do any maintenance on them. Everything needs maintenance. You got to work on the stuff you want to keep it running. So hope I was able to help you guys out. If you have any questions, drop it down in the comments. I'll see if I can help you guys out. If it's something more complicated and I can answer in words, I'll do another video. But hope you guys enjoyed. Hope I was able to help some of you out. And yeah, like, follow, and subscribe for more tips and tricks. I'm just what I'm here, guys. I'm trying to help you out. So yeah, and don't forget to share this around if you would, please. Helps the channel out and appreciate it. Road Pro out.